Good morning, everybody. I'm Hollie, Clere with the Social Media Advisor, and I'm so excited to bring you today my special guest. Her name is Julie Miller-Davis, and she is a rock star, an absolute treasure in my business, in my circle. And so I'm just deeply honored to share the world with you today, Julie. Thank you for joining me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me and saying such nice things. I'm the one who's lucky to have you.
I have so much to share with the world about you today. I just am so excited. I've been looking forward to this so much. So do you remember, Julie, how we met?
I was trying to think about that. Oh my gosh. I know for sure that we met at a networking meeting in Denver a couple years ago. But I feel like we met somewhere before that, and I can't figure out where. Do you know where?
I feel like we met somewhere before then as well, and it's a different networking group that I feel like we were talking about yesterday. Maybe it was a conference with that group combined or something. But yes, I definitely I felt the very first time I saw you at that Denver event, I'm like, I know that woman. How do I know her?
I know that we had met somewhere.
It's so funny that both of us can't put our finger on it. I just love it.
Yeah.
It's like, friends for a lifetime.
Yeah. But I knew whenever I met you, every time that I've met you, even before we became super connected, that I wanted to be near you and know you.
Oh, big hearts going your way. Well, so I like to start this off with some sort of special unique feature about you. And I happen to know that you are a huge fan of superheroes, and one in particular.
I am.
So if you were to be a superhero, which one would you be and why?
Well, it would be Wonder Woman. And
surprise!
Surprise! I really love Wonder Woman, and here is why. She doesn't have any true superpowers, but she has resources that help her have the superpowers. So she has, she has an invisible jet. She has a golden lasso. She's got, and she's just a really strong woman who is resourceful. So I love her.
You are her.
Aw, thank you.
Literally. Well, that's awesome. I had a feeling that you were going to pick her, partially because she's part of some of your branding, and it's pretty awesome. So you're an entrepreneur. How about you share with the world what it is that you do, what keeps you going? What do you do every day, Julie?
So much. I'm an entrepreneur. I launched this business almost 3 years ago now, and I am a productivity and efficiency expert. So I train mostly women, but some men in business to get out of their own way, because they're doing so many things that they don't necessarily need to be doing. They are saying yes to everything instead of discriminating a yes from a no. And so they're really not prioritizing. They're taking things as they come at them rather than developing a plan and sticking with the plan. So they kind of usurp themselves out of what they want to get done. And then they're wondering why they're not getting anywhere in their business. So what I do all day is I do a lot of research and content development. And I'm always, oh my gosh, I'm on so many websites looking for ideas and tips that aren't already out there, that I don't already teach. And I'm out there meeting people, constantly meeting people. And I'm talking to them about what they do and finding out about if there's something that I can help them with or that they can offer for me. And I do a lot of networking.
Yes, you are an excellent networker. And I think it's I love your pool of resources. You're always the first to offer up an introduction to someone else. And that's a unique gift and a treasure that everyone should have the awesome experience of having that moment with you. I think it's really, really powerful for us to talk about your past history, because yes, you've been an entrepreneur for 3 years, and how are you going to get me to be productive if you didn't have your past history? I feel like that's a really important time of your life to share, because that is how I really feel, Julie, that is how you've gotten the tools to be able to do what you do for others.
Well, I was a high school English teacher for 17 years, and my classroom was very efficient.
Surprise!
Surprise! So I ran my classroom like a well-oiled machine. The kids knew when stuff was due, how stuff was due, where stuff was due, when I would get it back to them. I wasn't one of those teachers that held on to papers forever and ever and then lost them, or you never saw it again. It was really important to me to honor the work that the kids did. And I just would let them know there's 90 of you turning this essay in, and you had 2 weeks to write it. So I get at least a week to get it back to you and grade all 90 of them. So they knew, but they also knew that I was true to my word, and they would be getting their stuff back. But really a lot of that was, I always say, I'm really honest about this, Hollie, I am just selfish enough that I have to be productive in order to have time for myself. I have to be efficient in order to have time for myself. So it's not always about serving others. It's also about serving myself and honoring myself. And so if I didn't learn to say no, and I didn't learn to honor my own time and the things that I love to do, then I really would be miserable, right?
Yes.
So from teaching, while I was teaching, I also was training at a leadership ranch for high school sophomores. They were all already leaders in their communities, in their high schools. They're all athletes. And that's where I was introduced to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And that was, oh my gosh, what year was that? It was a long time ago. It was 18 or 19 years ago. Wow. And I started just inviting all those principles. So they were like an addition to what I was already doing, but they just became ingrained in how I operated, how I responded to things that were coming at me in my life, how I set goals, how I went about reaching those goals, all of those things. And so there was another business in between teaching and what I do now. But all of these things just taught me how to protect. I just wrote this. I just had a live video last week, right? Or I sent out my email this week, my e-newsletter on protecting your yes. So the things that I'm saying yes to, I have to protect that. And to protect that, I have to say no to other things. So it's just really been a journey.
It's a very powerful journey. And I mean, when you look at all the different people who coach and things in the world, your unique gifting and your experience is so deeply powerful and moving. And not only that, it's game changing, because you walk the talk, and that's unique. Not everyone does that. And so with that, I just want to say to those of you out there listening, I get to have the opportunity to work with Julie, and it is a pure joy, because I being an entrepreneur as well, have taken certain things for granted. And, family always comes first. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, we tend to put business first. We tend to work long hours. We tend to have long lists of things that we're not getting done, and pressure and stress and anxiety and sleepless nights. And, her words are true in that of, I'm going to set realistic expectations for me, realistic expectations for yourself, and we're going to find a happy ground to be able to meet in the middle. And it's going to be healthy for us all. And I think that's really, really powerful, because, we can have all the plans in the world to build all these great, amazing things. But realistically, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, how are we going to get this done? What time are we going to be able to truly allocate to get it done? Are we going to be honest with ourselves and authentic with our time and our family?
Right.
That's so powerful, Julie.
And
I
there's so
love
many
that.
tools, and there's so many tools that you can use. And there's ways, we don't only have to set boundaries around the people around us, we have to set boundaries around ourselves,
Yes.
right? And what we allow, because we can get sucked in so easily to what we are doing, like you just said. So, and you got to have a sense of humor, and I do.
Right, because if we're not having fun, we're doing it wrong.
It's ridiculous. And I want to tell you all also, I will give a little disclosure here. People think that because I'm organized or because I'm effective or efficient and productive that my desk is clean. And I want to tell you that that is not true or even possible. Or even it doesn't even matter for what I do. That's an organizer is who does that. It's not me. And I inherited this trait from my mother. Maybe she'll be watching this. I don't know. And I just call it my area of genius. I know where everything is on my desk. And even when I was teaching, I have always had a messy desk. I just told my kids, my students, if you turn something in on my desk, just know that it will be sucked into some vortex black hole and you'll never see it again. Turn it in where it's supposed to be turned in. So, I have places where stuff goes. I know where everything is. And the day when I start losing papers is the day that I clean my desk. So that's how it works. So I just want to be honest with you all that it's not like I'm going to shut my drapes. It's not that I am like that everything's pristine, because that's not necessarily productivity and efficiency to me. I'm about how are you operating, how are you rolling, but some people are stumped by their desk. And so we do work on that. I do work on that with my clients, but because some people are like, I can't get anything done because my office is such a mess. I'm like, well, let's start there then, but it doesn't matter to me.
Well, and that's something powerful as well, because, we tend to keep up with the Joneses and someone's expectations of how someone else should be. Or I assume that you would have all these things pristine and you're highly organized. And so this is what this means. And I'm going to put you in this box, right? That is not at all. You've got to be present in yourself and be honest with yourself on where you are in your journey, because you're not living out someone else's journey or walking their walk or having their assumptions. That this is your own. This is your process, your task, your business. Let's focus on your unique gifts, the challenges that you have uniquely, and push through those.
Yes.
Because you're not doing someone else's.
Yeah. What is truly stopping you? And if it is your desk, then in your office, then let's start there. But if it is that you're too busy, then let's start there. If it is that you are trying to do everything and not delegating and not letting anybody else take over anything, then let's start there. If you don't know why you are stuck, then let's start there. So everyone is so unique. My systems and my tools and my trainings are what they are, but they are all malleable so that they can be used to everyone's unique situation.
Yes. Agreed. So I want to talk about those, but first I'd love for you to share a challenge that you've had or a struggle that you've had in building your business over the last 3 years that maybe we can relate to as entrepreneurs.
Gosh, I listen to a podcast every day and he asks this question to his guests, and I always think about and then your pre-sheet came through. I'm like, okay, this question keeps coming up. So what is it? So a lot of people, I think, they talk about how they were afraid to launch, or they're afraid to take action, and, or they got stopped by something. And I would not say that I've ever been stopped by anything. And I'm definitely an action taker, but I think that the biggest struggle for me is the patience that it takes to be an entrepreneur and grow a business. And I am not a patient person, but I've learned it, and it's been hard. And it's because I I do take action, and I want things to happen now, and I want them to be great, and I want people to follow me. And it doesn't work that way. It takes time, and it takes time to try things out, and it takes time for people to try you on. It takes time for you to try things on. It takes time to develop systems, processes, websites, backends, CRMs. It takes time. It takes time to figure out where your people are, where you should be also hanging out so that you meet them. And it's, I went Mach 2 for a really long time in this business trying to build it, which built me a really good base, but exhausted me. Yeah. I needed my own services at that point. So that biggest struggle has been learning to slow down, learning to be patient, and learning to take the steps and then to wait a bit and see how it goes.
That's powerful, because we all want it to happen right now. And being patient with yourself, giving yourself permission to be patient with yourself. Mm-hmm. And taking it slow and just being present in it all. It is so fast paced. I find with my business, because everything is running so fast, that if I don't pace myself and take a step back, then I have to have patience with where I'm at, with my knowledge, with my business, with the challenges that I'm overcoming. And that's just really valuable. And I think that speaks a lot to the messaging that you share with people as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think too, Hollie, just thinking about your business, when you're trying to keep up with all the changes that are happening on Facebook and Google and they change stuff constantly, and it can, I'm sure, feel urgent all the time. And it is to a point, but pacing yourself and figuring out, and taking that step back and just saying, okay, you know what, there is so much happening right now. What is the first thing I need to focus on to make sure I have a grip and can take care of my clients? And you have so much that's out of your control. You have to then narrow it down to what is in your control. And it's just those questions and figuring, because otherwise you would drive yourself mad and you would never sleep. And many of us are that way, right?
That's why I call my friends like Julie at random parts of the day, and I'm like, hey, what you doing? Like, I have nothing important to say right now. I just want to hear your voice. Truth. Truth. So what is the driving force to do what you do every single day? What you wake up in the morning, what drives you to get up, serve your clients, and help them become productive in their business?
Oh my gosh. Well, first and foremost, I love teaching and training. I love it in my core. That is who I am. It's not just what I do, and it drives me. And when I created this business, it was a piece that had been missing for about 5 or 6 years. And oh my gosh, it brings me so much joy to create content. And if one of my clients is having a unique issue, I'm like, all right, I'm on it. Don't you worry. I'll take care of it. And then we're going to have a meeting and I'm going to bring you some tools. And so I love that. And then it's something that always can serve other people. It doesn't end up just being for that client. And then it's watching these women. It's mostly women. And I work very, very little with men, but that's opening up a little bit. But to watch these women gain freedom and happiness and these feelings of success is really phenomenal. And when they talk about the strides they make and what has changed and what habits they have retrained themselves in so that they can thrive and not just survive every day, it's amazing. It makes me so happy. So
you can see it. You're like glowing when you're talking about it. I love that. So in order to serve the community, what are the top 3 services that you offer right now that could benefit someone in their business?
So I speak is one thing that I do, and I will speak for different business groups and talk about how to prioritize. My talk is called Prioritize with Power, my main talk. And so it really helps people. It gives them practical tools and tips on how to prioritize. Hollie's heard it a few times.
I love it.
There's always something new that she learns. The second thing I offer is I have a live event that I do once a year. That is a day and a half long event that's amazing, and I'm so excited to implement it, offer it. It's coming up really soon. Hollie's part of it. And then my main offering is my program, my group program that I offer. And it's a 6-month intense restructuring of habits and patterns so that you can be productive, have more freedom, make more money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's called Unstuck. So,
yes. Yeah. And you will see that if you guys search anywhere on the interwebs of Facebook and social media, look the hashtag Unstuck, you'll see all sorts of information. I'm going to actually share some of that here in a little bit down below with you as well. What do you feel, Julie, is the best way that you could benefit a business this coming year, 2018? How can you serve a business so they can grow in the best way possible for the new year?
Oh my gosh. The best thing that I do, you're laughing at me.
I'm so excited to hear.
The best way that I can serve people is truly helping them step out of that place of mediocrity and into excellence by resetting the way that they are getting up and running their daily business. And it's for, I don't train in back end systems and all of that. I don't do the tech. But what I do is those front forward, how are you going to hit the ground every day and get the most out of it? And in that way, you're going to reach your goals with intention and purpose and in ways that you never even imagined, rather than them being on this pretty wall, a vision board or whatever it might be, or a piece of paper in your wallet where you're kind of wrote them down and you're kind of wishing and hoping they happen, but you're not really sure how you have time to make them happen because you still got to run your business. And so it's about finding that intention and power in yourself to really make that plan and implement it. That's what I do.
Awesome. So we've talked a lot about helping people plan, getting some things in place. What is something you are implementing this year that is going to help your goals and help your business grow?
Well, for me, I have shifted a lot of things in the last few months that I am doing for my business. I have put a CRM in place that's a lot stronger than the one I had. My social media is rocking right now. The social media advisor is helping me with that. But for me, it's really figuring out those systems and people that I needed to have in place, and that is what's going to make me successful. And if I can just say, I really believe if you want your business to go forward, invest in your business and in yourself. And that's what I'm doing. I'm investing in my business. I'm investing in myself in order to get forward. And it's not waiting for the money to come so then you can invest. It's investing and knowing that because you're investing, the money will come.
Yes, that's so powerful. One of the things that you share in your talk, I'm going to share just a sliver, is something that I always keep in mind when I'm doing my daily, when I'm looking at my business, when I think about that investment in moving forward and progressing myself forward. And it's 3 Ds: do it, delegate it, and dump it. If I am not doing it, then I need to delegate it or I need to get rid of it. And darn it, The second I heard that for the very first time, I said, Julie, it's not nice because I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready.
You looked at me and you said, are you ever going to be ready? Like, when are you ever going to be ready? Because you invest now into something that helps you personally or professionally, and its funnel will fill itself. And just be aware that it's not a matter of, I'm just not there yet. I'm just not. No, but you are.
Right.
You are. And
you are.
Yes. And that is the thing, is realizing the potential, not only the potential that you have, but the power that you have right now with where you are. Because embracing that and acknowledging that is going to make you progress so much further and so much rapidly, I guess is the right thing that the second I invested in a team, the more efficiently, exactly. The second I invested in a team, I literally grew that funnel of business to not only support that team member, but it doubled itself. And it was like, wait, what? So I we just started focusing on the things that I liked doing, and I delegated out all the stuff that was just sitting on my list. I not only became more efficient for myself, but I became a better mom.
Well, you're so much less stressed. You know, when I've been working on some things and putting some things out lately, and if I didn't have my virtual assistant to do this stuff, I would not be sleeping, and I would be wound up so tight. I would be the most unpleasant person for my family. I can put on a brave face and a good face for the people that I meet with every day, but I would just be thinking all the time about, oh my God, I've got to get that done. When am I going to get that done? I've got to get that done. And then you're working all night and you're mad and frustrated, and and then you take it out on your family. So
True.
Yeah, it totally opened. And last week I had this huge project that I needed to get done. And if I hadn't had her, I thought that to myself too. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I am not the one having to do this. Thank goodness, because I can be out doing the things I need to do to build interest in my event coming up, and she can worry about doing that. And I didn't have to do all of it, because me being the face of the event and being out there doing that is way more important than doing what she was doing and in that for what I need to do. What she was doing is just as important. It's just not something I need to be the one doing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So we've kind of tossed this nugget out there a few times, but I want to talk about your event coming up called Unstuck the Event.
Unstuck the Event. If you're a superhero fan, then you know that there is the original Batman movie was called Batman the Movie. There's also like Batman the Ride at Magic Mountain. And so I had to call it Unstuck the Event. I had to.
I love it. Well, tell me about it.
So Unstuck the Event is a 1.5 day long event. It starts November 10th at 3 p.m. and it goes all the way through the day on November 11th from 9 to 5. And it's going to be so powerful. So I have groups of people sitting together who don't know each other. I'm asking people to separate who are related to each other's businesses or whatever. And what we're going to do is dig in. Figure out, what is it that you're stuck on in your business? What are you wishing for? What are you wanting? What are you hoping for? What do you find yourself constantly saying, oh my God, I wish this would work, or why isn't this working, or whatever? And then we're going to put those wishes down, and we're going to figure out what you're in control of, what you're not in control of, and then make a plan. What can you do to make it work? And then sorting through, are you in alignment with what you stand for and who you are, and do those wishes and wants align with that? And then we'll do a little bit of some goal management. Really, what are you doing to reach those goals, and how are you going to get intentional? And people will leave with a plan. Like, they will know what are the things they've been procrastinating on that they need to get done. What are the first things they need to do to reach those goals to get done? And what are the things they need to pass off to someone else or just let go of? it's going to be so, I just am so excited about it. I'm so excited and so nervous, but mostly excited.
And I am so excited as well. I happen to be a sponsor at this event, and I was planning to attend this event either way. For me, I have had a big rock in my way for about the last 3 years, and it's been a dream for me to have, and it's been a shiny thing for a little while, and I keep putting it aside. And I keep putting it aside, and I keep putting it aside, and people keep asking for it, and I keep putting it aside, and something else always has a priority. And I said enough. I literally feel like Julie and I were having a conversation this summer. We were hiking on a trail, and we were talking about goals and dreams and different things. And I don't know if you remember this, Julie, but you looked at me and you said, "Huh. So you feel good about where you're at with that then?" And I was like, "No." No. And you're like, "Oh, okay, just tossing it out there." And like we moved on. But I was like, "No, I am not okay with this. I need to get unstuck. I need to stop this. This is a the program that I'm developing is a legacy program for my kids and for my clients. And
Wow.
It's literally going to put my voice into a place where if you'd never knew me and something ever happened to me one day, you would know me. You would know me, you would know my principles, you would know my heart and my experience. And I just feel like this is a message that has had to come out for quite a while. And why do I keep getting stuck? So I am personally attending this event because, I mean, it makes me cry when I think about it, but I knew this was going to happen.
Oh, I love you.
I'm doing this for my family. Because it needs to be there. And so you guys, seriously, you have something inside of you that has been dying to just break out. You've got goals and dreams and hopes, and I just encourage you to stop coasting along and actually commit to yourself and your family that what you have inside of you is so great and so powerful that it needs to be in front of the whole world. And so you've got to put the processes in place in order to do that. And you can't let yourself stand in front of the way of your greatness. So I knew that was going to happen, Julie. I just did. But it is such a powerful thing. And so there's no one who does it the way that Julie does. And I just encourage you guys to check it out. We are going to share it in the comments below on YouTube and on Facebook after this live recording, all the ways that you can get in touch with Julie, that you can get in touch with this event. And today, only November 1st, 2017, there's going to be a special little note on there. So you want to take a look because that note expires today.
Today.
Yeah. Yes. So if you're watching this later, sorry about that, but you should still attend because it's powerful and it's very affordable, and she's going to feed us. So
I am. I'm so excited. Besides, along with Hollie, I have 4 other partners who all are going to help my attendees with productivity. We're pouring into you about how to be more productive. And I'm feeding you dinner, I'm feeding you snacks, I'm feeding you lunch. We have awesome swag planned for everybody, and breaks and training and time to be poured into by, I'll do some laser coaching. I'll also be giving you time to work. We're not working the whole time and then I'm talking and training and then the partners are talking and training and then we tell you good luck. You have time to brainstorm and look at things from new angles and get feedback from other people in the room, and it's going to be super powerful. I'm almost like, oh my gosh, did I leave myself enough time? You will be filled up and walk out with an action plan that will not even be in the book. I have created a separate sheet of paper where it can be tacked onto something so you know exactly what you need to do first and next. So
I am beyond excited. I am so excited to walk beside all of the 50 other business women and men that are going to be there. possibly 80. You know, you guys, if you register as soon as possible, you can get a seat, and it is going to be worth it. But it does limit. You know, there's only so many seats available. So I would highly suggest take a look at it, consider it for your life, for your business, for your family, and I would go all in, to be honest with you. Let's get unstuck and figure out how to do it, delegate it, or dump it. And Julie, I cherish you so much, sweet friend and coach and productivity expert in my life. And I value you, and I'm so grateful that you allowed me to share you with the world today. And guys, take a look at the comments below after this video. Thank you so much for those of you who jumped on and watched this now and later.
Thank you.
It's such good content. And Julie's gonna make some changes and help you make some drastic changes in your life and your business and get you productive and efficient. So check it out. Thanks everybody for joining. Let's be awesome and have a great day.
Thank you, Hollie.
Thank you, Julie.